Good afternoon, and thank you guys for streaming into my presentation. Plant manager here, we have our purchasing manager, and we have our production manager in our presentation today. Currently, as we all know, our demurrage fees are excessively high at an unacceptable rate, and I've been looking at strategies for us to reduce greatly, if not totally eliminate our demurrage fees. Our demurrage fees are being incurred when we're not able to unload these rail cars within a 24-hour period. So the options that I looked at first was adding personnel. Issue is that we would need additional equipment. So we looked at the purchasing of that additional equipment. Due to the fact of how expensive our equipment is, because currently we have what is necessary for us to operate. But it would take us over 10 years in demurrage fees to get our return on the investment in that additional equipment. It would also require the adding of additional personnel to run that equipment, which stretches that 10 years. So I went further and looked and see if we could change our supply chain strategies. It will require a change in mainly two departments in our purchasing and in our warehousing operations. Required changes. It will change in the current purchasing processes. We would change the way we're doing our time series ordering. Um, ch- Changes in the current scheduling uh, for our lift drivers. That's going to affect the warehousing. We'll require some cross training. So the plant manager would have to authorize us to use to train a few lift drivers in other departments, but it's not a major hit to them. We could do it on overtime shifts so that it does not impact anything going on in other departments, and but it would increase our freight costs, estimated approximately 22%, but that 22% is significantly less than our demurrage fees. The benefits: we can eliminate those demurrage fees or get as close to it as possible. Uh, we wouldn't have the amount of inventory on hand that we do now, so we can run much leaner. And it also requires no major investment. So, for the purchasing department, a time series ordering. Uh, Currently, our suppliers are shipping to us very large amounts as they produce. They produce a batch, they ship it. We will want to limit those shipment sizes because part of the reason is just the fact that we cannot offload as much as they send us at a time, which is making us incur those fees. Uh, Part of the additional work that would come into the purchasing department, we'd have to issue new and more purchase orders. We also have to track more tightly the delivery of our stock. Uh, so there's more shipments that would have to be tracked. And because we will be running leaner, the delivery schedule is way more critical. We will not have as much buffer time, though we will keep a safety stock on hand. In the warehouse department, we would have to reorganize our plate yard. We can decrease by approximately 35% the space that we actually need because we will be running leaner. This will also bring all plates closer to the production area, so it decreases the time from the delivery to stock, and also getting it from stock to production because it's less area that we have to manage. Uh, we also have to adjust the schedule. We need to adjust the schedule so that we have 24/7 coverage with the lifts. In addition, adding an on-call Lyft driver that can cover for any type of unforeseen absence, unexcused absence, or illness. In addition to that, we touched on it earlier. Cross train a few other Lyft drivers in the department just in case our on-call guy for some reason is not available, or if we can use them. Maybe there's only a few hours of coverage that's needed, and you don't need an on-call guy to come in for that. Metrics to track. So we definitely want to track the demerge fees incurred. This would be responsibility of the warehouse team as it is now, and for any demurrage fee that we incur has to have a justification and a reason for why it was incurred. That way, we can isolate any lasting issues so that we have more points of attack. Uh, we will track with the move sheets that the guys fill out the offload time. So the time that is taking them to take that material from from the rail cars to stock. That way we can track and see if we are still ordering the correct amount. Are we too high? Are we too low? It'll allow us some more visibility in that area. And we have to track on time delivery from suppliers, the responsibility of purchasing. Um, that way, if we make sure that we're not having any production delays due to stock, and if they incur, we can see who the suppliers are and make sure that we make the necessary adjustments there. Return on investment. 1 year from implementation, we should see it immediately see an 80% decrease. Just for the fact that we are unloading only what we have the capacity for, we should see it drop to 80%. I leave 20% of error for the adjustment to our new purchasing and our new schedules and just being in a new process. By year two and beyond, we should be down 98. It should not take us more than a year for us to work out any kinks in the new policies, and with the contingencies of Lyft driver, of on-call Lyft driver, and of cross-train Lyft drivers, we should not see that. We should not see many, if any, demurrage fees. I just leave a 2% error for the fact that we will eventually have attrition. We will eventually have a hole. There may be a time where the on-call guy is sick, or there's a blizzard that keeps us from offloading the rail car, and we incur some small fees, but significantly less than our current situation. And I open the floor for any questions.